Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be creating a planner theme spread in horizontal layout. I'll be designing the next week of June in my classic happy planner, so come plan with me. And I've got some washi tapes here, all ready to go, as well as these various stamps that I may use, this ink pad, and these stickers, rub-ons, and other ephemera from your creative studio. Okay, you guys, so this week I am going to be using some items I received from your creative studio. It was in a box set that she released recently and pulled out a few items that I thought would be a nice combination of things to add to this week's spread. So I have some different papers here, as well as a large sticker backer there in the center, and then a few other little small paper and sticker items that I may pull in here. So I'm thinking about starting with a spine design, and went ahead and started to rough up the edge of this paper sticker sheet that I have here. It's a little bit short to cover all of the page top to bottom, so we'll work through that, kind of figure out what might look best. And I'm just ripping the edges again, just so it looks a little bit more organic. And let's go ahead and just cut it in half to begin, see how that might look. Again, straddling the spine. Just trying to find a good place to cut it in half. Let's go with that. I'm going to try out what might look good. And I decided as I was laying it next to the spine that maybe I would do something more of a mid-page layout, using the center of each day for decor, and then that will give me space on either side to put in those functional items. So I'm going to play around with that. I'm going to go ahead and rough up the straight edge so that each looks organic on both sides now. Like I said, it's on sticker paper, so I'm going to go ahead and lay that straight down onto the wax paper to create the basis of this design. And again, gonna rip up some of these other vintage paper ephemera that I have here, using those to collage with the rest of the items there and create a mix of elements in the center of each page. First of all, trying to work out how I'm going to close that gap at the top and the bottom of these sticker columns that I have here. And I decided that the birds were a little bit weird. One got his head cut off from the other side, and that looked awkward. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that part and just use the papers to fill the gap instead. That way I can have a little bit more variation in decor and not worry too much about those birds and their half bodies. And again, working out just how this will look. I'm going to use that extra piece of sticker paper that I tore off there to complete this left column. And then start to bring in a few other items like this set of stamp washi that I really love, actually. Most items, like I said, came from the Your Creative Studio box, but there's a few items that I've had in my stash that I added in, including this washi stamp set that I got from Stationery Pal. And this other washi here that's kind of a muted vintage look. skinnier one is from Daiso, and then this large script washi is from the washi tape shop. All of the items that I have will be linked below down in the description so that you can easily find them if you like anything in particular. Okay, so I'm going to bring in again, like I said, those different papers. Just trying to make everything fit, go all the way from top to bottom. I'm not sure yet if I'm planning on actually writing on top of those blank paper areas or not. I might just leave that as basic decor and write only on the white lined areas, but we'll see how the week goes. If I get super busy, then maybe I'll use those areas if I need it. And I've added in a few other items that I didn't pre-pull, including these kind of black and clear stickers that have a little bit of a botanical feel. And then I pulled out these rub-on transfers as well that I'll be adding in just for a little bit more of a, I don't know, like a bright, colorful feel. I think it goes well with what I've pulled. I was trying to not make this too much of a dark feel. I definitely want it to be more of a light vintage feel, more of a springtime, summer feel. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a few of the florals that I think I'm going to pull in and leave them on the backing so I can work out where exactly I want to have them on the collage before I actually commit. With rub-on transfers, they come on a clear transfer front, and then they have a backing so that you can maneuver them safely. And then when you're ready to actually put them onto the page, you want to remove the backing and then rub off the transfer from the front. So they're pretty easy to use, and they are really nice because they work, I would say, even better than stickers. They have a almost printed on feel, which is a nice way to make things feel a little bit more organic when you put everything together. So I'm layering them in now like how I envision them, and then once we transfer everything to the page, I'll rub them off and you'll see them in action. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the tape and get these pieces off of the wax paper. Well, there are a lot of paper elements as part of these collages, so I'm using that sticker backer as the main event, which makes it a little bit easier to place on the page. And then I'm going to go back and grab my glue stick to stick down the rest of these pieces. They all work pretty well. Some of them are already stickers, like as in those washi stamps. Now we're ready for the rub-on features. So I'm just removing the backing. I'm going to have it go behind the washi tape and other elements. So I'm just using my precision cutter cap to rub them off. They actually included a spatula for rubbing, but I'm very comfortable with using this tool, so I just went ahead and used it instead. But it does come with a spatula to help you rub them off if you don't have something that is suitable for this. And as you can see, they rubbed off really nicely and really became part of the collage. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next page, start laying things in, gluing things down. This one was a little bit tricky to place, but I think I got it where I wanted it. And again, we'll go through and glue things down. Some things are kind of stuck in between stickers, so I have to lift things up in order to actually glue them in. And here we'll go ahead and rub on this first floral on the side. If it gives me too much resistance, I just put it back down and keep rubbing. That's really the secret to not get it to be ripped in any form. That will help you keep everything aligned. So again, if you feel resistance as you're trying to lift up the clear cover, then just lay it back down and rub some more before you continue so you don't force it. And now I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess papers that were hanging off the page. Lay in a little bit more washi tape. And then I remembered I wanted to bring in some of these stamps just for a little bit of contrast and elements, tying in those black, almost stamp-like stickers that I put in earlier. And these also came in that Your Creative Studio box, so it's nice. Everything was themed in a similar manner. I'm just going to pull in a little bit of black ink with these. And they're just small botanical floral stamps that I'll just mix in here and there. Again, just for more contrast and to spread that around in the collage. I think this will really help tie in the black ink that I use to actually write in my activities each day, my tasks, my events, and make it feel like it's all part of the same system when I'm all done with the after the pen. I am not the best stamper, but I've learned to kind of just embrace the imperfections and let them be. So I'll add in a few more, but that's pretty much it. I'm not going to try to overstamp. It always goes badly. So I've learned not to touch things once they've been stamped. And I had pulled that alphabet set because I thought I might bring in a quote or two, but with all the script fonts and things that are going on, I just decided to let that be. But I am going to add in a little bit more color here on the edges using this washi tape, again from Daiso. I think it just has the right vibe and adds just a little touch of something extra here on the borders. I'm just going to go ahead and trim it out. I will save the excess for use on another spread. I'll also maybe even add in a little bit more here on the spine. I was going back and forth whether or not I wanted to do that, but I think it's going to look good with a little bit more on the spine, reiterating that vertical element that I have with the design in the middle of the page and then with the borders. I think it just all works well together. Now this washi is just a slight bit short as far as filling the full gap width of the spine. But I think that's okay. It's very hard to tell, especially at a distance, and when it's in my planner, I probably won't notice. And because I don't want to spend the time trying to cut out each of these holes, I'm going to try to punch it. Now, I just did a DIY project with my Happy Planner punch, and it really was a fail as far as punching through the thicker plastic material that I was using. So I was hoping that I would be able to get this in because it's only really 2 sheets thick with a little bit of washi. However, I've said this before and I will say it again, I got like a defective Happy Planner punch because it catches on everything unless it's just straight paper, and even then it only can handle like 2 sheets of paper at once. Instead of trying to chance it and getting this stuck and then just crying my eyes out, I decided to go and get my disc power punch, which I got from We Are Memory Keepers, and use that instead to clear out the holes. Now this punch usually isn't the best on the lighter weight pages, but it got the job done. So once I get done cleaning out the holes, that will be it, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!